So I wanted to surprise my mom with something unique, something different from anything that I've ever done. And so I decided to surprise her at the airport and pick her up for Mother's Day. And surprise her with flowers, and also surprise her by putting her on camera completely without telling her and unexpectedly. Because she's always told me that, she believes in me and my goals. And also, like, I tell her all the time that I want to start a YouTube channel and I want to, like, really push my YouTube channel out there. And so I kind of was like, you know what? It'd be cool to actually put us in a YouTube video, since this is something that we've never done before. So pretty much, she was super shocked and surprised, of course, that I picked her up, and I was kind of late because I was trying to make sure everything was perfect. And overall, I feel really good about, surprising her and surprising her with flowers, because I know my mom, I know she appreciates, like, when I do things that are kind of different than expected. And also, I just love hanging out with her and spending time with her. My mom is like my best friend. Our relationship isn't perfect, but I definitely feel like it's strengthened us to have a stronger relationship. And her being in the military and traveling and being away, I'm so used to it. I'm so used to us, like, not living in the same state. Like, it's pretty normal at this point, but spending time with her when we do get to spend time with each other is, like, so important to me.
In the wake of a hurricane, dark skin of a summer shade, nose dive in the floodlines, tall tower.
So, my mom is in town for Mother's Day, and we're at one of our favorite restaurants. It's called Mexicali's, and she's here from New Jersey, and we've been just spending a lot of good time together for Mother's Day. She's only here for a couple of days, so I thought it'd be cool if I feature her in my vlog, and we just talk about some things that we're working on. So cheers to Mother's Day.
Cheers to Mother's Day. Cheers to spending a few days with my favorite son. My only son. My only son. Cheers to that.
So how's your weekend been so far, being back in Tulsa?
My weekend has been great. I've gotten time to spend time with you since we only see each other a few days out of the year, but hopefully we'll be able to get together a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
Our schedules will be a little bit more conducive to some extra time, and just looking forward to big things in store for both of us. We've got a lot of things coming up in our lives that I'm excited to share, and I'm excited to go over.
One reason I wanted to introduce my mom into my vlog is because, one, I feel like it's the right time for you to get to meet some of my family. My mom is very important to me. We have a very close relationship. I was raised in a single parent family, and my mom has definitely been like a backbone in my life. If it wasn't for her, a lot of things that I've been able to accomplish wouldn't have happened, because my mom has definitely supported me and helped me along the way. So I definitely want to give you that thanks.
Well, thank you, son.
And let you know that a lot of things that I'm doing wouldn't be possible without you. So, so right now, we definitely are just going through a lot of different changes in our lives. I just started a new job at Youth Services of Tulsa. She, at the moment, is in New Jersey. She's in the military. So let's talk about you being in the military. You've been in the military since I was born,
Since
27 years.
Yes,
So
quite some time. So the military has been part of both of our lives. It has been very influential in our relationship. It's allowed us to be able to travel, giving both of us some exposure to different cultures, different cities, living outside of Tulsa, and being able to, just interact with in different areas, and being flexible, easily adaptable to change, and being able to just, interact with people on, so many different levels. So that's been a positive. I've enjoyed it. I love being in the military. Again, community service has been part of things that we've done. So some of those things have helped in what we're doing currently and what we did in the past. So those are some things we're talking about, getting our book off. We've always talked about doing a book. Different things that have influenced us throughout our lives, I think would be great to share with other people. What's influenced us, what has given us a great bond. So with that, what do you think are the Why do you think we have such a great bond?
Well, first, I wanted to touch on the fact that when I moved away from Oklahoma, for the time I was away from Oklahoma, it was because my mom was in the military, and she moved to D.C. at the time. This is like around 2011, and she moved to D.C. and so her being in the military has allowed me to travel different places like New York City and D.C. So, but our relationship, I would say, has definitely been a relationship that has, I feel like, strengthened over the years. I definitely feel like, it's never easy when, you have one parent raising one kid. And a lot of people are in other difficult situations, but when there's just a single parent family, it's not always easy because, it's, just getting through a lot of different things as far as just parenting or just having our own little differences or just trying to, make sure that we're just a solid, happy family, But me and my mom have been through a lot of different things, but we've always stayed very strong. And I think that's what has strengthened our relationship. I think the fact that we are in a small family and it is a single parent family, I feel like that's made our relationship a lot stronger because when I think of family, I think in my head, sometimes I think of two parents and a lot of kids, right? But in my life, the only family that I've known is just me and my mom. And so this is what my family looks like. This is what my immediate family looks like, just me and my mom. And I think it's really unique and it's really beautiful and special to us. And that's one thing I like about our relationship is that it's so unique. It's not like everybody's family. And every family out there is different. There's so many different types of families out there. And this is what my family looks like. So when did you know that I was interested in music or I expressed any type of creative interest, would you say?
I would say when I first noticed that you were interested in music, you came home one day after church and said you wanted to sing in the choir. And not only did you want to sing in the choir, you wanted to sing a solo. And so I remember saying, Quentin, well, let's get you in the choir, maybe practice a few times, have a few performances, and then we'll talk to the music director about a solo. And so it really amazed me once you kind of brought that to the surface. We began talking about it. I'm all about actioning. You joined the choir. You were able to sing a few solos. Another thing that came early on was fashion. Probably about the age of 5, 6 years old, there was a fashion show at church. I think that's when you did your very first fashion show. And so you enjoyed it. And as long as I can remember, since then, you've always been talking about music, fashion, New York City, acting. You joined there was an acting club that you joined in middle school.
I remember that. Yeah.
And so there was a club?
Performing arts type club
Performing
or
arts
something like
acting
that.
club. And so since then, you've been doing that ever since. And so it's been pretty consistent. And you seem like you're very passionate about it and you really, enjoy it.
Well, one thing I feel like I've always wanted to do with my mom is collaborate on some type of creative project. And so right now we're working on a book idea that we have. And this book idea is pretty much going to be about our relationship and us being mother and son and kind of what that's looked like over the years and our perspective of our relationship from a mother's perspective and from a son's perspective. And I'm super excited about this book. It's definitely in the very beginning stages. So we're still developing it right now. So what would you say about it?
I think so. I would say that just kind of some of the things that we talk about throughout the years that have strengthened our relationship, that have influenced us. So you've always loved music, fashion, styling, and so talking about those things and how those have been influenced and what's influenced. We talk about church has been a big product and a big influence in our lives. A lot of our family and friends, we all grew up in church together, and that was an initial early bond for us. It gave us that foundation as far as starting our lives and building from. So I think that just in general, just those factors, our careers, talked about me being in the military, Now you're in fashion, you're acting, you're singing, you've got a mixtape out. So those have been constant factors and influences. We talked about writing a book for a while, and because we're so close, and a lot of times other families may not necessarily be that close, but I think it's great for us to be able to share what has been the strength of our relationship, or what is the foundation of that makes our relationship pretty strong. So I think those are factors that bring into a book would be nice, like where we grew up, 754 East Queen Street, which sounds like a song. I think you have some of that in part of your song, but that initial start, just living on Queen Street, and what that meant, because that was a family home, so there's a lot of family history, a lot of family memories that I remember growing up, and then also transition to, me and you growing up there.
So is that what the book's going to be about?
I would say the book will be about what strengthens, what makes our relationship strong. What are the factors that contribute to making our relationship strong? What bounds us together? What makes us individual? What are we currently working on? Most people think that, like I told you, once you graduate from school, it's not it. As a mother, my job is never done. As a mother, it's a lifetime commitment. Now I'm your guide. I'm here as a counselor, but this is your life. And so I'm here to assist you through your life, and always here for you to lean on. And so that is how parenting relationships continue to transcend.
So that's kind of what you feel like is going to be, that's going to be your perspective that you're going to put in the book? Kind of like
I think our perspective is, those are the perspectives. What makes our relationship strong? Where have we come from? Where are we going?
So yeah, I think what I'm interested in contributing to the book is, in my perspective, I see it as a black family, a single parent black family, right? Now that's not the thing that defines us, because obviously there are other things that define our family and our relationship. But I think that it's very common, especially in America, that there's a lot of single parent black families, right? So that's something, a point that I would like us to touch on. But I want to specifically, from my perspective, talk about what it was like to be raised in a single parent family, talk about what it was like to not have my dad around, and for my mother to kind of fill in a lot of his shoes. I want to talk about my identity, accepting myself, my mother's perspective on sexuality and things like that. I really think that this book will be a great way to help other people, and I feel like it'd be a great way to, one, to get people to kind of get into our lives and see kind of what kind of family dynamic we have, but also I kind of feel like it's going to influence other people. So I'm really excited for you guys to really see this project kind of unfold. This is the very beginning stages of what we're working on. So other than that, I've always wanted to collaborate with my mom on a creative project, and I'm really excited about this book idea. I think that it's going to be something that we do a great job on, because we're already great talkers already. We're great writers in some ways. So I'm excited to do something creative with you and manifest this idea. So the last question I kind of want to ask you, or the last thing I want to talk about more so, is I'm very into spirituality, so I kind of want my mom to kind of give you her perspective of her spirituality. How do you practice your spirituality? How do you connect with your spirit? What is your perspective on religion and spirituality?
Religion and spirituality are two separate. I think religion is more of a traditional practices in respect to your spirituality. Your spirituality is your essence that is it's like a fingerprint. It's something specific to you individually. Your spirituality connects you to your family members. We are bonded spiritually, hence we all have a connection, but spiritually we all have to grow. It's just kind of like exercise, and it's something that you have to continue to tap into, because it's almost like you read the book, The Secret. So once you tap into your inner spirit, there is nothing that you can't do. Your ability to do things that you're passionate about, to grow and continue to self-actualization is always positive, or there is the ability to do the things that you want to do in life based on having a positive spirituality. It also allows you to interact with other people, in a positive manner. So it's a big influence as to the direction that your life is going to go. And so once you realize that, then you can, you can do that.
Yes. How are we doing over here?
We're doing good.
Okay. Just making sure you got enough.
Okay.
So other than that, I'm really excited for these creative projects that we're going to be working on, and these ideas that we're trying to manifest and get off the table. But yeah, my mom is here for the weekend. Well, not for the weekend. My mom is here for the week, and we're not for the week. We're here for a couple of days.
Few days.
And I'm just excited to see her and, do some of the things that we normally do, like going out and talking and connecting. So, what would you say is like one of your favorite songs that I've made so far?
One of the favorite songs that you've made so far. I like "Carefree Black Boy." It has
Okay.
a lot of things in the song that deal with today's society.
Okay.
Growing up as a young African American male, different things that African Americans go through. I think it's very positive. I like 1111,
Okay.
Four Wings.
Okay.
So growing up in the 90s, so it kind of helps to touch on some of the things that we've talked about, how you've grown up, things that have influenced you, and just like to see that you've transitioned and continuing to positively move forward with the things that you want to do in life, and the things that we talked about years ago are coming to pass. And so I think that's pretty exciting. I'm excited for you. I want you to continue to prosper, to grow, and do the things that you like to do with your life. And of course, getting a well-rounded education. I like to see you walk across that stage one day.
Yeah, I'm going to walk across stage at Howard University.
Awesome, that is great. I'm going to put that out there into the universe.
Yeah, so what kind of music did you grow up listening to?
One of my
Who's your favorite artist?
favorite artists.
Besides me,
I love Billie Holiday, so jazz has been very instrumental in just like the smoothness of jazz. Some of the original jazz musicians, I love listening to the saxophone, Kenny G, Bonnie James. I grew up when hip hop was born, so that has been instrumental. I love some of the original MCs, hip hop artists from out of New York City. I also like to watch hip hop grow into the different genres of rap that we have. I learned something new, so now we've got there's another new form of rap now so it's kind of continuing to evolve. I love Biggie, I love Tupac, but I like Drake, Nicki Minaj, and then R&B. You can never go wrong putting out some Aaliyah, some TLC. Growing up in the 90s, I think the 90s had the best music. We've talked about that before. Jodeci. So those have been Marvin Gaye, going back into the 60s. So I like several genres of music. And when I was growing up, my parents used to play a lot of music. So of course I listened to some of the early Motown artists. So those have been a staple in my life. So those have been my influences.
Well, I do want to say that I know how my mom has influenced me musically. I think growing up in the 90s, a lot of the music that I heard around the house were like a lot of 90s R&B artists like TLC, SWV. You listen to a lot of John B, Jodeci, a lot of that old school R&B flavor, and I kind of feel like because I grew up listening to that, that's kind of inspired my style and kind of inspired the type of music I like. I love 90s music and I love 90s R&B. And I think the reason why that is because I grew up in a house where my mom was playing a lot of 90s R&B when I was growing up as a kid. So I do think that my mom has influenced me musically just because of the music that she played when I was growing up around the house. So, but other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video and our interaction, because we do this all the time, and I can't wait for you guys to see more videos that we do and more collaborations are on the way. And also this book that we're writing, do you have like an idea for a title or anything like that in mind that you think would be dope? Or you still think about it?
I think we should brainstorm a title. I think as we collaborate and put different chapters together, I think we'll come up with a nice title.
Well, thank you guys for checking out this video, and there's gonna be a lot more coming soon with me and my mom, so thank you so much.
So I had the privilege of having my first radio interview with the Juice Radio Show. And it's funny how the universe works, because the station is literally like not that far away, like maybe 10 blocks away from where I grew up on Queen Street. And I thought that was like the most interesting part. But I had a really good time being on the radio. I love being on the radio. And I think the last time I was on the radio, I was in New York City. So being back on the radio was fun again, and also just answering some questions. And I love being interviewed a lot. And also I love the fact that I got a chance to kind of talk about what inspires me and some of my favorite artists and really put that out there. So I had a really good time, and the people at the Juice Radio Show were just so cool and so laid back, and I can't wait to do more interviews with the Juice Radio Show. I had a good session with them.
When I heard Frank Ocean's mixtape, that's literally when it clicked to me that I want to be an artist, because I just realized I wanted to do something similar and I wanted to make music. Also, Frank Ocean, he came out, and for a long time I've struggled with my sexuality and accepting myself, and I feel like knowing that somebody that looked like me, that was passionate about music like me and kind of had the same style and swag as me came out, and he's a black man at that. I think that gave me the confidence, like, okay, I can make music that I'm proud of. I can make music and be honest. I can make music and be myself. And there's room for me, because obviously there's room for this young black man here. So I think for a long time I've had in my head that I can't do certain things because I'm a black man, because I'm gay, or because of whatever these labels that people want to throw on you or whatever you identify with. So I think when I started to become more comfortable with myself and who I am, which I still am every day, but yeah, that's when I realized I'm an artist. What's up, y'all? Right now I'm at the Equality Center in Tulsa, and I'm getting ready to rehearse for my third show for Tulsa Pride. I'm super excited that I have an opportunity to perform 3 times in a row. I'm also getting ready to perform in New York City, where I used to live. I can't believe I'm about to go back to New York City, and I'm performing at Harlem Pride. My performance at Tulsa Pride is Saturday, June 1st, and then my show in Harlem is June 29th. It's gonna be a great summer, y'all, so check out my rehearsal.
Oh, they sleeping on me. With you, one only. I give it to them all like, yeah. My melanin is on fleek. You can't catch me. out your opinion. I'm a millennial, don't need permission. Let's take it back. Boo boo, I'm right. Stay ring, glow, close eyes, clean eye. Something special happens when you see a divinity in reality. That's how life was in the 1990s. A rainbow child from the Pleiades.
So what's up, everybody? I kind of wanted to go more in depth about my performance at Tulsa Pride and how I really feel about it. So let's get into it. So the first thing I loved about my performance at Tulsa Pride was my outfit. I actually got a little help from a stylist here in Tulsa. He's a local artist and a local stylist as well. And he helped me put the outfit together. The overalls are actually from him. So shout out to Lonnie. He really came through for me and really went through some different looks with him and his wardrobe that he has. And we came up with these overalls, which I really love. And also the glasses are really dope. I got the glasses from PacSun, and also my shoes are Doc Martens. And my shirt that I got is this really cool, like African colored Jamaican shirt that kind of felt like represented me being a carefree black boy. So my outfit was just super on point. So that was my highlight of my performance. The other thing I loved about my performance is just having my support system there with me. So I had some family that came and I had some friends that came. So shout out to y'all for always having my back, coming to all my shows and just continuing to support me. When you're new and you're starting your career as an artist in the beginning, having your family there and having your friends there means the world. So thank you guys for continuing to come out to my shows and hit me up about it and just continue to show support, because you guys have no idea how much that means to me and how much that makes a difference. The other thing that was really cool and special about my show was that this is my third time performing at Tulsa Pride. So to be asked to perform for the third time was really cool, and I felt like there was a lot of expectations and a lot of pressure on me since I already have 2 years of experience under my belt. So that was a really cool thing about it, and just having the support of the Equality Center here in Tulsa behind me is just super incredible. So shout out to the Equality Center for just having me and supporting me as an artist since the very beginning. So the things about my performance that I kind of feel like kind of threw me off a little bit or that I need more work on is that towards the end, I lost my voice a little bit. And that really discouraged me a lot, because I want to give my best to my fans and also give my best to my audience when I perform. So losing my voice and having to stop my show kind of towards the end really sucked. But everybody that I spoke to about my performance said I did a great job. So I was the only one that really noticed that. So I need to rehearse more. I need to really push my vocal cords a lot more. Somebody actually told me years ago that your vocal cords are like a muscle, and just like any muscle, you have to like push your muscles. You have to work out your muscles in order to see the results that you want to see from them. So pretty much my biggest takeaway is that music is my art, music is my craft, and in order to be the best at it, because if I'm not doing this to be the best, then what's the point? So in order for me to be the best at it, I need to constantly rehearse. I need to constantly drink a lot of water. I need to constantly, just really put my vocal cords and my voice kind of like in this box of just perfection. You know what I mean? Not perfection, but just making sure that I'm doing the best that I can to support my vocal cords and my voice whenever I perform. And I feel like sometimes I kind of have the mentality that because I'm talented or because I have opportunities, I don't have to work hard for them. So now I realize that in order for me to really realize my potential as an artist, rehearsal is something that's going to be a part of my life now. Singing and, possibly getting a vocal coach is going to be a part of my life now. So I feel like those are the major takeaways. So now my performance that I'm getting ready for this upcoming Saturday in New York City for Harlem Pride, I feel like I have a lot more, kind of experience to kind of go off of, and kind of what I expect my audience to be like and how I expect to deliver on stage. But other than that, I want to thank you guys for supporting my 2 singles, Carefree Black Boy and Four Wings, on iTunes and all streaming platforms. Also, thank you guys for supporting my mixtape, Days in the Midwest, which is my baby now. It's been about 2 years since I released it. So thank you guys for continuing to play it and stream it. I've got so many messages in my inbox from people telling me that they really vibe with my music, or that they really like my singles that I put out, or a couple of songs that I haven't released as singles. So thank you guys for all the feedback and support. And until next time, until my next vlog, peace and love.
Back to a pickle and a pop, sitting on the sidewalk, Oklahoma boy talk. That's how it was, life in the 90s. Every black boy